Let's try this again. What is going on? Play games, some man market back with another video, back with another live stream, back with a blitz stream. Yes, you know what a blitz stream means. It means it's gonna be quick, straight to the point, no laggy gagging. Yes, by the title, as you can see, we are talking about my current Jane Foster Thor build. It's what we currently have her built as we continue this journey to get her to 175. Currently, she's power level 154, champion level 43, which means I've been using her a lot. And before we get into the build, I did want to let you guys know I do have a Discord that I will be including in the description box, probably starting tomorrow, not right now. I might have it in this video later, so when you guys check this video out, I'll probably have the link to the Discord. Now, I haven't actually started participating myself in the Discord yet. I just have it built straight for you guys. I have to go and add a couple more hero sections on here in terms of like builds and whatnot. The chimeras where everybody can kind of kick it and hang for the most part, and then I have build sections for each hero, and then I might even have one that kind of might be like mission gear missions or something like that. And basically what that will be is well, I might even call it the Roy the Roy vendor. And basically, the Roy vendor will be where you can display the gear you got and where you got it. So let's say if you get like a nice God roll tier gear piece, melee, defense, heroic, ranged, you would drop that picture in that section and then say where you got it from. So, I got this from doing the Vault Elite, or I got this from doing the Elite Villain Sector, or I got that from doing, something along those lines. So, I think I'll have that ready for you guys probably starting tomorrow. I have to go and kind of add those little tabs or folders, little community sections, a part of the Discord. And then for now, that's what I'll have running my Discord. And then shout out to Swifts or Zach for letting me know about the Nightbot, because I gotta check into look into that and see what I can do for that. And then as we get closer to 1,000, I'll start putting together my membership stuff where you guys can have your own badges and stuff like that that'll let people know, where you rank in terms of being a member on this channel. So, but I won't be able to do none of that until we reach 1,000 subscribers. So, as we on that journey, be on the lookout for that. Right now, we're about to hit 400. So, shout out to all the new subscribers, new community members, new Play Gang members, new Avengers that's on this channel. So now, without further ado, let's finally get into this Jane Foster build. And as you see, the Mighty Thor, we tap in. The first thing we're going to display is the nameplate. Mighty Thor number 40. Looks pretty nice. She has a couple other ones. I have not really looked too far, too deep into them. That one's alright too. You have that one. That one's actually decent. Of course, I got that one. This one's cool. You do have this one. Okay. I thought that was for the other Thor. And you have this one, you have that one, and you have this one. So those are the ones we currently have. Haven't unlocked everything yet, but those are the nameplates I have so far. Outfit wise, we are rocking the Nordic Shadow. Otherwise, yeah, you guys probably saw me doing a lot of streaming in the Golden Valkyrie. For some reason, it's a glitch or a bug as usual, but the iconic outfit locked itself after I started using it. So, but I would like to get back to using this outfit because I do like it. So I hope that it unlocks at some point. Come on now, Crystal Dynamics. And then for the emotes, we got the inscription, and it's pretty cool. She swings the hammer and grabs it and reads the inscription on the hammer. I dig it. Pretty cool. Worthy. Jane Foster is. Now, let's finally get into the gear. You guys are looking at the stats. And as you see, she's fairly well-rounded in terms of her melee and her ranged. I do kind of use her more ranged than melee. even though her melee is a bit higher, but that's because I'm waiting on one piece of gear to kind of address that, and then hopefully I'll be able to find some good perks from my minor artifacts to kind of round out my defense. So the first thing we're going to do is actually go over here to the artifacts. You guys know I'm rocking the Tactagon. I rarely ever take this off. If I had more gear that did damage buffs, I probably would then use the Lethal Will, but right now I'm pretty good with the Tactagon. And then I'm using the Norn Stone of the Vanguard, where defeating an enemy with the Vibranium status effect sends the Conduit buff to all heroes. All heroes are considered Sonic Conduit receivers, as well as getting the Apex Breaker that increases damage to signature attacks. Now, you see her intensity is 70, which isn't too bad, which means she will feel the status effect pretty quick. And as you see, just at a quick glance, you see I do vibranium and cryo damage. So that's why I use this. That way I can get this sonic conduit for later purposes. And then I use a yellow ISO 8, which is the triple valor, where I get reduction to 50% reduction to spin attacks and 25% reduction from heroic energy drained, which is very nice. Um, and then the powerful breaker, which is increased damage to power attacks. Now, before we get into the gear, let's check out her skills and why I have this set up the way they are. Champion point wise, can't really do too much yet, but this is what I'm going with: the critical damage, the critical attack chance, the stun and status damage boost, the heroic charge rate, the perk chance boost, the status resistance boost, and the defense. Now this, I do find that it works. I do see it jump by 5% whenever I've increased this before. I just am waiting to kind of do that some more because I want to fill out her defense and her critical attack stuff. So that's what it is there. But if you go back into skills in terms of specialties, for her support heroic, I do Ymir's Wrath, where nearby teammates receive a temporary damage boost of 25% when Warrior's Fury is activated. So gather your heroes and your squad together, activate this, everybody gets a nice damage boost. And then I also use Hell's Anger, which increases the critical attack damage by 25% and critical attack chance by 10% for anyone affected by the Warrior's Fury. So these two go hand in hand. So you get a damage boost as well as a critical attack damage and attack chance boost. Perfect combo there. In terms of her God Blast, I switch between Daughter of Midgard and Thunderstorm. I used to use this one, and then I kind of realized maybe it doesn't do as much damage as I thought it did. Um, since you get three of them, I think they kind of cheapen the damage a little bit. But I'll have to try it again later once I kind of have her maxed out to see how that really goes. In the meantime, I use Daughter of Midgard, where I get an additional 20% from the Whirlwind and cryo damage applied to the targets caught in the vortexes to increase damage overall for God Blast. And then I use Rolling Thunder, where defeating enemies with God Blast refunds 5% of Assault Heroic Energy. If you didn't care for that, you could always do this. God Blast inflicts 20% increased damage when triggered while overcharged, which is nice. And then God Blast 15% increased normal and stun damage against shocked enemies. So you could do that too if you're using shock for your status effect. I'm tempted to kind of switch to this. That overcharge can be tricky. Not too much though, because her God Tempest usually activates pretty quick. So not a bad idea to that's a good second choice. In terms of my ultimate heroic for the all weapon, I use Raw Uru, where every time Mjolnir hits its target, a bolt of lightning strikes the hammer that shocks the target and hits nearby enemies, and you see damage is medium, impact is high. Now, alternatively, you could go Seek True, where you increase the damage of Mjolnir by 20% and the speed at which Mjolnir seeks out it and hits enemies. That's not a bad idea either. Um, but I do like Raw Uru as well. And then you have this one where Mjolnir's Chosen orbits Jane instead and hits people that way. It looks cool, but I find it doesn't do as much good damage overall when you could just have it doing something like this. So I think for me, I might switch this over to Seek True just to get that increased damage of 20% and speed. And then the other side of it is Underyarn's Bark. Dealing damage with Underyarn builds up the overcharge meter 25% faster to get that God Tempest. And then um, pretty much good there. This is why over here I'm very tempted to switch on over to the overcharge ability for Jane because you get extra 20% out of God Blast. So there's that. Those are the heroic attacks. And now let's check out the mastery skills. Come on over here to the combat. We have melee stun damage. I only have that on when I need to do takedowns for like my challenge card. So in the meantime, I'm doing powerful damage. And then combo damage, I'm doing increased damage from combo finishers by 15%. These two are pretty good because, if you just, I believe you just hold triangle, that's considered a power attack. But then if you do your square, square, square triangle to get the combo finisher and you activate All Mother's Blessing, you get a damage boost there, and then on top of that, an additional 15% from this. So that's a good combo to put together. And then heroic orbs drop from takedowns. And then over here in the range section, I do targeting range where Mjolnir will target people on the way back. And then I also do the critical return where it increases the chance of the hammer that will inflict critical attacks on return flight by 35%. So I'm making sure Mjolnir does damage while she's out of the hands of Jane Foster. Alternatively, you can increase the hammer throw and recall speed with by 15% with the high velocity skill, or you could do guard breaker where range attacks will break through blocking enemies, or you'll have to do like a signature attack or a power attack to break, those guards. So it's up to you. To me, it's not a big deal. I'd rather get that crit chance anytime I can. And then range damage, I do the increases the damage of beam of starfire by 15%. This can go any other way if you like using that while you're flying around, kind of shooting at enemies. This works well. You can also reduce how much intrinsic energy it costs to use it. Or if you just want to do flying shots, you can press this while flying to shoot bolts of lightning at nearby targets, and this slowly drains the Odin Force energy. Pretty cool, but I'm good with the range damage. In terms of intrinsic ability, I do ionic bolts, defeating enemies while Mother's Blessing is active, strikes nearby targets with lightning. Amazing. If you want, you can try to recover 1.2% willpower per hit while using All Mother's Blessing, or you can do Orb Dynamo, which when defeating enemies with All Mother's Blessing, you have a 25% chance to generate regen packs for all team members. So that's a health thing or a defense thing. If that's a big deal for you or a concern, you can always use that. But I'm good with the Ionic Bolts. And then here are you Honed Force, which reduces the overall energy cost of using the intrinsic All Mother's Blessing by 10%. If you want, you can do this where Perfect Dodge grants 30 points of intrinsic All Mother Blessing, or you can increase the automatic regeneration speed by 12%. I prefer to just reduce the overall cost of using it, so that way I can use it longer. Asgardian Fortitude is the next skill that I have activated for Jane, which reduces the intrinsic All Mother Blessing energy penalty incurred when falling or failing to counter against strong or unblockable attacks. So you lose less energy when trying to use All Mother's Blessing to essentially parry or counter. You could also do charged flight, where she'll have electrical charges around her as she's flying, and then when she hits the ground on impact or whatever, it creates a nice little explosion. Or you can fly faster with speed burst. Not a bad idea. Shout out to the 4 people in chat. Hopefully y'all doing well. Welcome to the BLITZ stream as we talk about Jane's current build that I have going for her. Not a bad idea with speed burst, but I prefer trying to save as much All Mother's Blessing energy as possible. Now, in terms of the intrinsic overcharge category, I do charge damage, increase the damage of all thrown weapon attacks by 10%, and damage of shockwaves by 15% during God Tempest. Once God Tempest is active, which is the overcharge ability for Jane Foster, it actually improves your ranged attacks. Even though you need to use melee attacks to activate it, it improves your ranged attacks thereafter, which is why, again, I like using ranged attacks with Jane Foster. Not a bad idea. What's going on, the Incredible Harry? Hopefully you're doing good, man. Righty. And then I use Tempest Recharge. Triggering God Tempest instantly refills the intrinsic meter and increases intrinsic regeneration by 25%. So when you think about a lot of this is again the reason why I use range attacks, and now why I switched my God Blast specialty to inflict 20% more damage, because you can easily trigger God Tempest, easily overcharge Jane, and then get that boost of damage with God Blast. And so Tempest Recharge definitely helps with that. And then Goddess Force, of course, where increasing the force of shockwaves and triggering God Tempest, making them more likely to interrupt targets. And as you see, the damage and impact is high. So she's going to do quite a bit of damage while God Tempest is active. And the shockwaves is from Mjolnir hitting people. And I believe when you call, like when you press R2 to call lightning down, that's considered part of the shockwave. And that's what does increase damage as well. So trust me when I say it looks like a lightning storm when she's out here. You know, we got 5 people in the chat. What's going on? So that takes care of all the skills and abilities there. And those who have just joined, if you kind of rewind and go back, you'll see how, where we've made progress throughout this build explanation. And so that's the skills. Now, if we back out, now we can check out the gear and how the gear services those skills. And the first piece we're going to show you is the Gauntlets of Asgard Scion. And this is where I get proficiency, might, and resilience. This is the piece I'm kind of waiting on because I prefer to have might, precision, and valor, and then I can rearrange my artifacts that I showed you guys before. My artifacts again are Triple Valor and the Norn Star of the Vanguard, where I get the Vibranium Conduit perk as well as a boost damage to signature attacks. But this here does cryo damage with power attacks and light combo finishers. And then the ultimate blessing breaker, where 25% increase to all mother blessing damage while the all weapon is active. Perfect, because all mother's blessing will also help you still trigger God Tempest, which also then goes super berserk. Now if we come in here, it says I can upgrade. Oh, okay, maybe something else can upgrade. Now, an ulterior piece I have is Valor, Precision, and Resilience. A piece that I am constantly tempted to switch to, but this is while granting the Sonic Conduit, melee attack impacts are increased by 25%, but I'm not entirely bothered by impact damage or impacts, unless it works against Claw. That's one thing I haven't necessarily noticed, 'cause that's the only one that you kind of struggle with to some degree. But at least your light combo finishers and signature attacks deal sonic damage, and you increase the chance of staggering an enemy with an active sonic status effect. So the Sonic Shake perk is pretty nice, but as of now, I use Gauntlets of the Asgard's Scion. Now, the Discordant Binding is probably a God Roll tier piece for Jane Foster and probably Thor, because this piece has multiple things going on. Might, Valor, and Precision, the 3 main things you would love to have for Jane Foster. You can send the Sonic Conduit, and when, you know, those who are granted this conduit, their status effect deal 15% more damage. And then Vibranium range damage, all range power attacks and attacks performed on pinned enemies deal Vibranium damage, which is perfect. And then, of course, with ranged critical attacks, pinpoint Vibranium payload drops payloads on those people. So this is a great piece because it's all about the ranged. Now, I believe I might have one for melee. I do. Discordant Binding, Might, Valor, and Resilience. So something that my range would suffer in, but I keep the granting amplification breaker. I switch out Vibranium for Sonic, and then I get the melee crit, which deals a damage buff with melee crits. This with range crits deal Vibranium payloads. So, take what you will from it. I mean, I could swap them as they get stronger. Of course, that's why I'm keeping it. But that is a God Roll tier piece there, the Discordant Binding, and I wonder what the elite version of this piece looks like. Now, Chest Plate of the All-Father. This is a tricky one because, again, although I do like the fact it focuses on defense, I still, again, rather have Might, Valor, and Precision. But One thing I've noticed that really works from this is Eitree's Boon, the 15% increased critical hit chance from hammer attacks. That includes all hammer attacks, melee and ranged. And when I tell you that 15% increased critical hit chance comes in like you wouldn't even think. I'm literally throws, full powered up range throws, your your hammer spin attacks. You will see your critical attack damage often with Eitree's Boon. And you get Odin's Redemption, where you reduce the intrinsic energy cost for suffering a guard break by 50%. So not only do you have this, you also have the skill that I showed you where you will save your energy from failing to counter. So all that helps you save a lot of your intrinsic energy so that way you can stay overcharging Jane with God Tempest. And then you have All Mother's Blessing Safeguard, where gain increased defense based on the amount of All Mother Blessing intrinsic energy built up to a maximum of 10%. So getting just a 10% additional boost in damage is good as well. And with everything saving her intrinsic energy, as well as if you're doing a lot of range attacks, you won't use your intrinsic energy as much. You really will only use your intrinsic energy when you're doing a lot of melee attacks. So if you're throwing your energy, I mean your your energy, if you're throwing your hammer around often, you'll actually get that defense boost with this piece more often than you think. And this is where I get that intensity boost too, because it's the only piece that I have intensity on. But if I come in here and show you what other piece I could switch this out with, Precision Might Resolve is not too bad. Oh, so now this piece could use some help too, because this is a good piece as well. This piece was alright. I was kind of using this before. This is a good piece if you care about cosmic damage. You get a 2% increased willpower recovery when All Mother's Blessing is active, and then perfect evades and parrying attacks grant cosmic surges, which helps her with her health. So this is a good piece. I just wish it had a third stat. And then this one is similar to the piece that I currently have on, just slightly different perks. While overcharged, vaulting enemies deal shock damage. You get that 2% willpower recovery and the lethal strike overdrive where it generates additional all mother blessing energy when dealing damage and defeating enemies. Not bad at all. It's just not what I want. And even with my Iron Man my Iron Man build, it seems like there's a lack of really good defensive gear pieces in general. The closest I may have gotten to having a good defensive piece is maybe Black Panther, maybe Captain America, but it seems like a lot of heroes suffer when it comes to this defensive gear piece. Shout out to the 6 people, now 4 people in the chat. Don't forget to ignite that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that way you know my videos on my live streams. So we can sit back, relax, see what's cracking. And when you do that, when you like the video and when you comment on the video, it helps YouTube push the videos out to other people so they can also find it, so that way they can come in and enjoy this content as well. So by helping me out, you help everybody out on YouTube. So appreciate you guys for doing that. Now, back to the last piece of gear, which is the Discordant Clasp. This is one that I don't care about too much, but I use it because I got the stats, and then because you have to do quite a bit of raiding. This works for the raids because depending on who you're playing with, attacking an enemy with sonic damage that has an active vibranium status effect spreads cryo status, dealing damage to enemies afflicted with vibranium status effect restores a small amount of intrinsic energy on every hit. Guess what? It's just faster ways and more quick ways to keep Jane overcharged as possible. And then of course the sonic conduit. And this sonic conduit also works with my minor artifacts sonic conduit. So I have many ways to send out the sonic conduit to get the benefits that I need from them. So um oops. So the piece that I would kind of like to want to use is maybe this one. Unarmed attacks generate 15% more overcharge per attack. Defeating enemies with God Tempest is active will extend it by 2.5 seconds and increase the duration of Auror's Fury by 15 seconds when activated while overcharged. So once God Tempest goes active, you tap L1 to activate Warrior's Fury, and now you get 25 or 24 to 25 seconds worth of Warrior's Fury, which is amazing. The Girdle of the Thunder is pretty solid for Jane. It's just getting the right effects for it. But yeah, this is a piece. If I could get Valor, Precision, and Might, maybe I would definitely love to use this piece. But as it stands right now, I like the piece that I have going on with the Discordant class. Well, it's all right. It's all right. Hopefully I can continue to search and get better pieces. But that explains why my might is where it's at, why my defense is where it's at, why my ranged is where it's at, and my heroic. And to see the stats in general, I got 200 on might, 176 on precision, 73 on proficiency, which I could switch out with a triple stack proficiency minor artifact if I wanted to. 292 on the Valor, 64 on the Resolve, 142 on Resilience, 70 on Intensity, and then you see consistent with the charge rate, they're all at 14.6%. And that is my build for Jane Foster. As you see down here, we're 48% through the challenge card. I've been doing a fairly decent job of completing the challenges to get that up there, and what little credits I get, I kind of buy out the next section. So I'm almost halfway through. And then we only have a few more things. We got three more outfits, and then she's complete in terms of her challenge card. And then yeah, hopefully they'll re-unlock the iconic outfit, because I don't know why it's locked. But that is my Jane Foster build. And then yeah, we only got what, 5 takedowns. This one's similar to Thor's. We got the wake up call. And we got the heart on a string, which is nice. Ooh, and then we got don't even need the hammer, which is nice. And then need to take a call. Woo! Alright. So that's Jane Foster. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about my Jane Foster build. If you have one, what are some pieces of the gear that you find interesting? And then, of course, be on the lookout for my Discord server in the description box in the days to come, because that will be up and ready for you guys soon. But again, as always, hope you guys appreciate the video. As you heard me say before, ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment, so that we can sit back, relax, see what's cracking, baby. With your man Mike is signing out, and until the next video, a live stream. Maybe y'all want to see some gameplay real quick, huh? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not do that? Why not? Why not hit y'all with a quick? I won't even do nothing crazy. We're just gonna do a quick. We're gonna do a quick. We're gonna go to Advanced Materials R&D Lab, just so you guys can get a great look at this build and see how much she really does. I'm gonna see if I can try to overcharge her first. Oh no, it doesn't. It won't matter because I don't have that piece of gear on.
Avengers. Several resistance fighters are trapped in the field.
I love my Iron Man nameplate though. Okay, Spider-Man with the glowy eyes. Let me show y'all a little something real quick.
AIM scientists are fighting AIM forces. They want to defect. Help them.
Time to test our strength.
Y'all see that? Ratatat, ratatat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love how she throws the hammer. Alright, so not enough enemies, but you see how she almost overcharged. If we wouldn't have taken as many hits, she would have overcharged right there. Alright, this is where the fun begins, alright?
Help those scientists defeat AIM's forces.
Ooh, watch this. Ooh. The thunder is strong. Ooh. Took all them out. Oh, thought you was going somewhere. How about this? Woo.
I'm beaming with pride.
Oh. I don't even have to use my special. I don't even have to use my special. But I will. Ooh. Ooh. Oops. And we're done. Ooh. Went under yarn, baby.
Perfect. I'm so proud of me.
Okay. Tony Stark wants that the last word. We'll let him have it. But that is a quick glimpse and look at the build. How you can. Oh, and I get a nice champion skill point with that as well. It's probably a minor artifact I've been looking for. Hopefully it's a triple stack on Resolve, because if I get my build the way I want it to, I want these to actually more or less be consumed with Resolve and Proficiency, or Resolve and Resilience, as opposed to, no, I'll lose the perks, but the perks aren't as big of a deal to me. If I can get a triple stack on Resilience or Proficiency and then Resolve in either one of these places, she's taken care of defensively. She's taken care of in terms of getting that critical hit chance. The critical attack damage will still be there because I will have Valor across the board, right here and here, and that's where her heroic will stay high. I'm telling you, y'all stay on the lookout. Y'all be on the watch, cause we ain't playing no games. Oh, but she did level up, so we need 4 points in order to move anything else. So yes, your man Micah signing out until the next video or live stream. Wait for and keep it gaming.